Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hello there, everybody. It's Friday. It's the second part of a day-night doubleheader. Two separate shows. That thing just ends abruptly.
I need to get Mike Opelka to send us the full
I need the
ending.
full, orchestration. It goes on and on and on. We can just keep it running throughout
Doesn't he know that we need to vamp? God.
Not vape. We don't do that stuff.
No.
And vaping is just as bad as smoking cigarettes, people. Come on. Just understand that. But anyway, I'm not here to tell you what to think, say, do, or feel. I'm here to just try to have a good time on a Friday night. It's another weekend. It's September 12th, and we're almost halfway through the month. And you know, the first day of fall is on the 22nd, the Monday, when Rosh Hashanah begins at sundown. So autumn begins, the equinox, and Rosh Hashanah on Monday the 22nd, if you are scoring at home. And if you're not, maybe you'll try a little later on and get on Tinder and see if you can get lucky a little later. You know what I mean?
One can always hope.
I'm just hoping to make it through this week, get medicated up, and go to bed. It's been a long, tough week for everybody.
It's been a tough week.
Not just for me or you. Robin lost her grandmother this week.
Yeah, my Oma Mika passed away.
And we knew that she was near the end, and her stepdad has been over there in the Netherlands at her side through the whole ordeal.
It's hard when you can't just pick up and go halfway around the world to be with somebody. I mean, it's just...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that, and then, of course, we knew 9/11 was coming up, a day that I've, 24 years ago, I was on the air when it was going on live in Los Angeles, where it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was, 8 o'clock in the morning here, and Andrew Siciliano and I weren't heroes. We were on the air talking sports on Fox Sports Radio, and then the world changed. And now you fast forward 24 years later, and you remember how America came together 24 years ago on 9/11, right? I mean, George Bush throwing out the first pitch after things had calmed down a little bit when we felt safe to fly on airplanes again.
You drive on the freeway, and every single overpass had people with flags.
Exactly.
And posting it, United States flags. I mean, it was a heartbreaking time, but also a unifying time.
It was. And it's sad to think that 24 years later, if that were to happen now in our country, to our country, I don't know if many of the young American people who hate America and like socialism would actually be proud to be an American anymore. I would hope that I would be wrong. I don't want to see it again. I've seen it once, and once is enough. And now you had the Charlie. I don't want to talk a lot about the Charlie Kirk thing because, listen, you can have an opinion. If you want to celebrate somebody's death, go right ahead. That means you're a ghoul. And the one thing about the people celebrating it, because, that woman, that Philly woman who got the baseball, and remember last week everybody was talking about that Karen down in Miami who never really had the baseball but then went over and grabbed it from a guy and who's trying to protect his kid or whatever. People were trying to get her fired. And I didn't care about that. You don't try to get people like that fired. They know that they're a disgrace, and anybody who knows her realizes she's an idiot. But when people are openly celebrating the death of someone of which they knew nothing about, that's what baffles me. And again, but the fact that teachers, military members, people, nurses,
doctors, the healthcare workers,
exactly, and these people need help. I mean, we have members of our military who are serving our country,
and they're supposed to protect everyone.
Exactly.
And
so anyway, I don't want to talk about it tonight because people have talked about it. I'm not ready to move on. You can hate Charlie Kirk or whatever. They got the kid. His dad turned him in, realizing that it was going to end in a bad way. And so you can determine whether or not he was a left-wing guy or a right-wing guy. That's what idiots who go on the internet and make money, feeding off either side in this case. But if you think that this kid in any way, shape, or form, who, by the way, got a full-ride scholarship 4 years ago to Utah State, and he was in his home with his family celebrating, and they were applauding him. And then what happened? He went to school, and 4 years later, he was radicalized. And who radicalized him? Schools, teachers, professors, far-left lunatics who taught these kids, and we saw it at Columbia and all these other schools, taught them that America was bad. And instead of teaching them history and things that matter to form your life as an adult, they were teaching them to hate America. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. So again, if you want to hate America, go right ahead. But there's a lot of other countries you can go and leave if you don't like it here. That's why people risk their lives to come here, still all over the world. So again, I'm not going to tell you to be patriotic. I'm not going to tell you to wave your flags. Just do whatever you want. But stop being morons. And I don't like doxing people. I never want to. But the people are basically exposing themselves on the internet.
I think that there's a difference between a Joe Schmo saying something stupid and being shamed by or losing friends or whatever.
Right.
And I don't think that they should lose their job.
No.
Unless their job is supposed to teach our children or you're supposed to take care of everyone, whether it's protection or in the healthcare industry. If you're those people, then because if you're a teacher, you should be teaching everybody equally, no matter who they are, where they come from, or what their parents do.
But the grander point to this, and I had a quote earlier, and I can't find it now, is that if you get paid by taxpayer funds, so if you're a teacher, you're an elected official, you're a nurse, the nurses aren't being paid by the people. I'm talking about
but
teachers.
They're supposed to take care of everybody.
Yes, I mean, if you're a nurse and you're in a mental ward and you're helping people, and then you decide that you want to go online and celebrate the death of anybody, that's your problem. That means you need help.
Yes.
But when people have jobs where they're paid by tax dollars, they don't have the right to free speech. They can say what they want, but they should also be held accountable and suffer the consequences. That's the difference between doxing and trying to ruin somebody's life and then calling out these people who don't have the First Amendment protection when they are paid by our tax dollars. It's that simple. You don't need to break it down, shake it up. That's the way it is. So we'll move on from that. But we got other things to talk about today. We have a Florida update. Yes, there are scumbags even here in Florida. There's scumbags everywhere, Robin. And my job is to call them out. We will expose TMZ tonight as an absolutely corrupt POS operation. We will expose Twitch TV, where we used to be on. And Twitch TV, shame on you, as they employ dangerous terrorists on that channel.
I saw this
compilation. It used to be gamers, remember? It used to be just gamers, playing there, and then people would log in and say, oh, I want to play this game. And then you play the game, and that's fine. You're not hurting anybody.
But God forbid that you swear or do something like we were told that you can't swear, you can't do this, you can't do that. The people that are on there now, there was a whole compilation that you were showing me. We were watching.
There's a guy named Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker. And he's not even hiding it. He goes on and has all these millions of followers who want to kill all conservatives. Could you imagine anybody going on any public airway? And again, Twitch, you subscribe to people and you pay for them.
Twitch.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitch. I denounce Twitch. Yeah. And Twitch, you should be ashamed of yourselves for allowing a guy like Hassan Piker to actively call for the assassination of people they disagree with.
Yep.
This is beyond Charlie Kirk.
It wasn't just the assassination. It was him saying that you should go out and gut them and have their guts crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And this is
look it up. I'm not making it up.
Not just twice. This is like
every night these guys are on there and they're psychotic and they're calling for people to be murdered. Could you imagine that? If I said something on my Twitter account about hurting somebody or killing someone, I would be taken right off. People who do that should be taken right off.
I would hope that people are reporting this account. The fact that we've now seen it, I'm thinking that it has been, but this has been months and months and months of him doing this, and apparently nothing was happening. Now, he has a lot of followers, so it's not like nobody's watching him. This
guy has millions of followers.
It's insane.
Again, if you want to follow that,
and Twitch is employed by is
owned
by Amazon.
Amazon bought Twitch too.
So Amazon is
Jeff
the one.
Bezos and all you Amazon people. How do you allow this? And again, this isn't free speech. Calling for people to be killed is not free speech. And especially when we may have to play a clip of this guy, Robin. I want you to find him because I don't want to charge somebody.
I really don't want to give him any more attention.
No, I want him to be called out, and I want people to go to Amazon and go to twitch.tv and tell them this is who you are allowing. And he gets money, he gets paid to do this. He gets paid we talk about lower the temperature and all this stuff. This guy is raising the temperature because all these people who hate conservatives, they're nuts. They're nuts. That kid was nuts. He went to college, and 4 years later, he emerged as a nutcase because they're being indoctrinated in colleges, which should be defunded. Penn, Clemson, Ball State, Northwestern, Stanford, any other university who protects people who hate free speech. They should not get a dime of our money. Yeah. Let Harvard and all these Ivy League and Stanford and all these other ritzy, shitsy schools pay their own way.
I think even more so than the students, because the students are learning it from the teachers. It's the teachers. These professors that are espousing this vitriol and this anti-American hate, if they're doing that in the classroom, that is not free speech because they are teaching kids.
Exactly.
So, and they're getting government funding for it. The school should either lose their funding or those teachers, whether they have tenure or not, should be let go. There should be a clause in their contracts, whatever, that if you are espousing that kind of vitriol, it doesn't matter whether you have tenure or not, you are out of here. Period.
Exactly. And then you have publications like The Nation writing headlines like Charlie Kirk was an unrepentant racist, transphobe, homophobe, and misogynist who often wrapped his bigotry in Bible verses because there was no other way to pretend that this was morally correct. These are the kinds of psychopaths who are writing columns because they're progressive psychopaths. They don't want the world to be sane. They want there to be upheaval and tumult. That's what they want. They want everything to be strife, and they want revolution and all this other nonsense. And I don't. I want there to be peace on earth, as long as I get some peace for myself. Anyway, Bisa's joining us tonight, of course, in Las Vegas.
Hey, Bisa, are you there? Are you there?
I think she's there.
She's there. She just needs to turn on her.
Okay. And by the way, if you're watching us on No Filter.
There she is.
Let's put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
She was there.
I don't want to forget about her. Don't forget about Bisa. Let's put our hands together.
She was excited all week. We finally figured out why she wasn't getting all the messages.
Why?
In our
was she a radio silent?
No, we have that TBS chat room so that we can send each other stories throughout the week.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, why is she not getting it? Is she just ignoring me? No, it was because there was something wrong. We deleted her and then added her again, and boom, there she was. So now she's part of that chat room. So we've been sending stories back and forth to each other all week.
And that's what we do. I mean, we watch the stories every day. We keep up to date. When you do talk radio, whether it's sports talk or regular talk, you've got to be prepared. You just can't go in there and wing it and start freaking out. A lot of people do. These nutcases on Twitch do. You think they prepare for that? You don't need much preparation when you're calling for death of people you disagree with.
I bet you anything that they do prepare. They write these horrific little,
No, they don't, Robin. Watch this guy.
I don't know.
He's got all these people. The scrolls are coming down because they're sending him money to preach hate.
It's awful.
To preach
It's awful.
Eliminating people you disagree with.
How about if people pay us for love? Come on,
I give love for free.
You give love for free.
I give love for free.
I'll
tips
take
are
some money for it.
Yeah, it's expected.
Speaking of tips, here's a little. Everybody that's watching, you right now, whether you're watching it live or later, please make sure that you share the show. Share it often, not just once. It's not like voting. You can do it more than once throughout the show. That really, really helps us with our numbers. And like, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever it is that you're watching on, make sure that you do that so that our numbers go up, because the higher our numbers are, the more advertising dollars we can get from sponsors. And we hope now that we're back on and we have this fabulous studio inside the house that we will be able to get sponsors soon.
Exactly. We'll talk some sports tonight. Now I will give you even, I don't think I need any more reason to tell you why I despise the National Basketball Association. Not the players, not the teams, just the people in charge. Because I don't know if you saw this the other day, Nosferatu, the man I call Nosferatu, the NBA commissioner, basically just shit the bed the other day at a convention where he got up and actually told people who are working hard to buy all these different sports packages that you have to buy to get games. And we'll play a clip of this. He actually told people, hey, just go get a little antenna. Go get rabbit ears. Do we have the clip? I want to play this. So for all you people who are, shut up about paying $690 a year to watch NBA games. So what if you have to pay for all of these streaming services to watch the NBA? And by the way, you can get highlights anywhere. You don't need, he's basically telling people that you don't need to watch the games anymore, but oh, by the way, pay $960 so that you can watch the games. Then he goes on to say, well, there's highlights. People just want to see highlights. Yeah, on SportsCenter or on their phone to see if they covered a parlay. That's why they want to watch highlights.
But if you can't,
by the way, nobody wants to watch WNBA highlights because every time I see them, it's some chick missing a wide open jumper or failing to try to dunk. Who wants to watch those highlights?
You have to listen to him, how he says it. You poor unfortunate souls that don't have enough money to watch, like all of the different things that we're on. Here's what you can do.
Going from essentially 15 exposures on broadcast television to 75 now. So, to the extent somebody wants to put little rabbit ears on their television, you can still get, therefore, 75 marquee games, in essence, for free in the marketplace. Okay. I'd say in addition to that, and this is an ongoing issue for the league, there's a huge amount of our content that people can essentially consume for free.
Oh, yeah.
This is very much a highlights-based sport.
Yeah.
So
you want to see LeBron miss a wide
Instagram,
open dunks.
TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service,
What about
the New York
Twitch,
Times for that matter, to the extent that your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example, that is advertising based that consumers can consume.
Consume this, Nosferatu. Maybe go suck some more blood out of the morons who pay your salary. You look at this guy. He's like Nosferatu with still some flesh left on his face. And I'm not one who makes fun of people, but this guy, right now, he's the worst commissioner in any sport. And I know the owner, even Mark Cuban, who's still a part owner of the Dallas Mavericks, saying, what the hell are you talking about? The season hasn't even started yet, and you're telling your fans, stop bitching about paying. And a New York Times reporter who did a story on how many different paid net services there are, asked him the question, and then that's when he made just get some rabbit ears. If you want to go watch the Sixers and you're in Chester, Pennsylvania, hey, go back and you go in the basement. Maybe Grandpa left you some rabbit ears. Maybe you have one of those UHF antennas.
Even sell
rabbit ears.
They do sell antenna for live, over.
But he used the term rabbit ears.
He is so out of touch. Talk about somebody.
Mentioned all the different platforms they're on. God bless him. But the fans don't give a shit. They want to watch a game. They want to know where they can get it.
Yes.
And that's why people are cutting the cord, and they're finding other ways to get the content. Nosferatu, Adam Silver.
Yes, like things that... Yeah.
So
we have cut the cord big time.
Well, we still pay for internet.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need internet to do the show. But the bottom line is, the more that douchebags like Nosferatu, Adam Silver get up there and actually talk about $960 a year for NBA is okay. Listen, it's only $960 a year. What can you do with that? Oh, I'm going to watch the Oklahoma City Thunder on a Tuesday night. Listen, the Champs are a great team. I wouldn't watch the NBA if they paid me $960 a year. Not 1 second of one game. Maybe the NBA Finals. You think I'm going to watch preseason? You think I'm going to watch meaningless when the players don't give a shit until Christmas Day? You know why NBA players don't give a shit until Christmas Day? Because the NBA tells them not to give a shit before Christmas Day. That's when they make a big deal. Christmas Day on the NBA. That's what they do. And then they have these stupid in-season tournaments to try to get people more interested. The NBA is a dying league. The only thing that keeps it alive is the fact that the whole world now plays basketball. The fact that the majority of superstars in the NBA, not the majority, but a big, big portion of NBA players are coming from foreign countries. They're the ones who've revolutionized the game. They're the ones who are playing fundamental basketball, not just run and shoot three-pointers and miss open shots.
Yes.
Not just run up and down.
They're
And this isn't an NBA rant. I'm speaking for the people out there. You dummies who pay for this, and you want to pay $1,000? You want to pay $10,000 a year? You want to pay $100,000 for courtside seats? Go right ahead. I don't give a shit what you do. I'm speaking for myself and on behalf of a lot of people because I loved the NBA back in the 70s and 80s. The NBA is garbage, and it's run by garbage people like Adam Silver. The worst. We used to think Gary Bettman of the NHL was the worst commissioner in sports. Gary Bettman looks like the greatest commissioner ever, next to Adam Silver. Gary Bettman gets booed when he presents the Stanley Cup.
How does Adam Silver still stay as the commissioner?
Because he's a
this
lawyer,
long?
and they say jump, and he says how high. And he's been criticized now, not just by Mark Cuban. People are saying, what kind of tone-deaf response was that? As your league's about to start and trying to get interest, oh, by the way, as baseball gets to the closings, getting into baseball playoffs, you're going to have NFL season underway, which it is, the first big weekend, and he thinks people are going to give a shit about exhibition NBA games that they play in Europe and in empty places and nobody's watching it, or in NBA buildings where nobody gives a shit in September or October about garbage, meaningless games in an endless season. That's all I'm saying. David Stern, I had my run-ins with David Stern because David Stern, I'll give him this. He was a nice man, and he cared about the players. He's the guy that brought in the WNBA. I used to have him on my show in L.A. all the time. I had him on TV when I was on Fox Sports Net, and he and I got along great. I never denounced him or called him names. I try to have, and I've never had confrontations with any of the league executives, politicians, or sports figures that I've had the pleasure and honor of getting a chance to interview. David Stern and I went back and forth a lot when he was trying to pimp the WNBA to me on television, and when I wanted to talk about other things which were NBA related. He tried to change the subject so he could promote the WNBA. But it was a taped interview, so I didn't cut him off or anything. We talked, and then I edited out the part about the WNBA because nobody wanted to hear that shit.
Even back then.
But David Stern, he's the guy with the frozen envelope. He's got that, and he's now gone. Rest in peace, David Stern. I didn't hate the man. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Adam Silver. I get what they have to do. They have to appease the owners, and now they have to appease like 25 different companies that are paying them money to air their product. And as long as companies are willing to pay them millions of dollars to put games on channels you can't find, or like right now, people still can't find Apple TV when they do the Friday night games. And this is not something that just started last year. So now when people say, where am I going to watch this game? Right? Do you know? You're like, where's the game on tonight? What channel is it on?
One of the other things that he said during his little...
Do we have more?
No,
I
don't know exactly where it was, so I don't know where. I didn't save the timestamp. But he said, if you need to know where it's being played, just Google it. That's what he said.
Just Google it. Or just go on. Just turn on every channel.
Just go on Google.
My favorite though is just take rabbit ears and go outside. If you're there up in Chester on a beautiful Friday night and you're wandering around in bucolic downtown Chester near the prison over there, and you want to catch a 76er game, preseason game, you don't have to worry about running over to the arena, the now in Xfinity Alive arena. You can just go there and get your antenna, maybe go over to the prison and see if they got a leftover one from back in the day. You remember when they would give prisoners little rabbit ears to put in their cells at night?
I did not know that. That's something new.
What?
That they used to...
I'm joking, Robin. See, there's a prison in Chester, and the prisoners don't get rabbit ears.
Oh, okay. I don't
They
know.
just
I
get
was gullible.
drugs
I thought
brought
you were
into them by their pals, and then they escape and they can't be found. You know what I mean?
I just saw something cross over my phone, and I deleted it before.
Crossover? Was it Allen Iverson? See, Allen Iverson, one of the greatest crossovers ever.
Something about a new storm coming. So let me look.
Oh, look at the sky now. We got to get a live shot.
We have had so much rain.
Oh, yeah.
Over the last week.
I was starting to build an ark, but then I realized lumber was too expensive, and I said, screw it.
Although the fabulous Heather, sex doctor Heather, she's already picked out the bedroom in our house that she and her mom are going to come over. If we have a hurricane, this is where she's coming. She's like, we're coming to your house. We'll have a hurricane party.
By the way, you got to check out the sunset, Robin. Do we have the sunset cam up there?
I do not.
Because one of the great, see, Robin, it's not my style to criticize. I got to give you one of these already. I got to give them to you. We have this unbelievable God-given location.
Yes.
It wasn't given. I paid for it. God had nothing to do with being able to buy the lot. But every night, the sunsets are different.
Well,
can you bring it over a little?
God might.
Maybe we get some rabbit ears or an extender out there.
I was going to say, God might have something to do with us being able to keep the house.
Well, yeah. I pray to God that I stay healthy and can enjoy it. But we got to get this sunset, Robin.
I'm turning it on.
This is our responsibility here. the alligators don't come in.
No, the alligators don't come in. You know what? The problem with this
Robin
camera,
doesn't have a tantra chair. That's not a sex chair.
The problem with this camera is it doesn't really show.
This is a high definition zoom camera.
Okay, hold on.
We spend more money on equipment than they do at television studios, and you can't get a shot of a sunset, Robin?
Well, here.
I hate to do it to you.
See, can you
How many wires do we need?
Undo that.
The Mars rover has fewer wires.
Undo that. Hold on.
Undo what?
Undo this.
My pants? Not until later. I feel like this is one of those, what are the movies, the Blair Witch movies,
See,
where they go on? How many damn cords do we need on this?
These were too long, and so I had to bungee them together.
Ooh.
And then, okay. There you go. Ay.
Let me go here.
Ay, caramba.
All right. Now
Tony
we're
always,
long.
now your microphone
I got to
is
move it
getting
around,
away.
Rob. I got to move it around. All right, ready? Can I
You're
zoom
making
in?
everybody zizzy.
I'm trying to get it stabilized. That's what she said. Let me zoom in a little bit.
You can't. It's zoomed in all the way.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is like a $400 camera. I see people at amusement parks with better cameras than this.
Unfortunately, that is as
There's no SD card in there.
I know. Just Tony, you are live with that camera,
I know I am, Robin.
so you can't.
Look at that. I got to open the door real quick. I don't want to let any bugs. Look at that. Look at the
bugs are gonna
Look
come
at the
in, though.
Jesus guy. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that, Robin?
No.
The sun is setting underneath the clouds there in the back.
It is beautiful.
We got to get a better camera. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to live in this particular location. How many other people can say every single night they get a different sunset? I mean, a lot of people can, but not when they're looking over water and the colors change and the clouds change and people change.
Changes.
No, that's a bad song. I'm talking about people change, seasons change. A slow jam, Robin. You're too white for this. Sorry. So there it is. The Jesus. You see can you see the Jesus guy, Robin?
I think we can a little bit. No, see, it's not showing up on the camera.
Why?
I don't know. I'll take a picture of it and then
Give me
show
a
everybody.
Polaroid or something. Why do we have this camera if we can't use it properly?
Because it's not meant for
What is this meant for then?
It's meant for close-up type stuff.
Like this?
God. Sorry, folks.
No, I'm serious, Robin. I'm paying a lot of money for this shit. And we can't even get an outdoor sunset picture? I see people everywhere with cameras like this, and they're getting world class.
Yes.
This is a zoom camera.
It's a zoom camera.
Handy video recorder.
But it doesn't do really well with the contrast stuff.
Then what is it used for? What does it do well
Tony,
with?
I will work.
What is it?
Just sit down.
Why would anybody buy that if it doesn't get anything? You pay for something that's like $1,000, and then you say, well, it really doesn't do that.
Well, because it's not
Have you
made
seen
for
these
that.
ghost investigators inside empty buildings?
It's not made for that particular type of.
It's made to get video of stuff.
Yes.
Does it say it? You cannot record sunsets with this camera. Maybe if you want to record your tonsils and stick it in your throat, you'll have a much better look of what's going on down there. That's a bottle of Freak Show wine. People are noticing that. And Robin, oh, by the way, bogarting the Freak Show.
Did I not ask you for what?
I thought you were going to open a box of wine. This is Freak Show Cabernet Sauvignon, the strongest man on earth, Lodi, California, ladies and gentlemen. Can you get that on the camera, Robin?
Hold on, Tony. I'm looking for.
Does it get bottles of wine,
Outdoor,
or is that doesn't not part of the repertoire?
There's a sunset setting. Hang on. Let me see if this works.
You really just real? How long have we had the camera?
Hold on.
Sunrise. The sun's down now, Robin.
Oh, hold on. It's working. It's working.
Robin's had this camera for 10 years.
Look at that. Look at that.
And now that the sun is down.
Tony, look. No, look. Look at that.
There you go. How can a camera not have a sunset setting?
It has a sunset setting.
But you missed the peak sunset.
No.
Yes, you did.
Look at that. That is peak sunset.
That is not peak sunset.
That is gorgeous.
Sunrise.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Sunrise.
So you shush.
Sunset.
That is beautiful. Would you like some wine now, Tony Bruno?
Do we have any glasses in their cups? I haven't drank alcohol all week because I'm having a serious issue with my digestive system, and I'm going to a doctor next week. No, I'm not going to die, I don't think. I hope not. But I'm going to go in and have procedures done to try to figure it out. I know it's with the water because we've had water problems here as far as, contaminated water, sulfur, salt. But, there's parasites in a lot of this water that's not super clean. And that's what I think I have. We have a lot of parasites, of course, luckily not here in Florida, but in other big cities, there's a lot of parasites. They're walking around and they're stealing our money. But the bottom line is, you got to get checked.
Yes.
So I'm going to go to a gastroenterologist this week, Robin.
Yes. We're pretty sure that Tony has Giardia.
Giardia.
And
isn't there a drug that you hear? Does that have a jingle too? Because every drug now has a catchy jingle. You notice they have catchy jingles on all these drug ads. And then at the end, they give you like a 15-second, then they cause death, cramps, bunions, corns, calluses, anal fissures.
This is what we are...
That's some other bullshit that Robin got duped into buying.
No, I'm absolutely convinced because Giardia is a parasite. It's parasites that are inside your body. And this is Paragard, and supposedly it does a parasite cleanse because it has walnut...
Walnuts are going to help my Giardia?
Wormwood, clove, buds, and pumpkin seeds. And all of those supposedly help.
Pumpkin seeds?
Yeah. Ground up in a pill
Maybe I should go to a dugout and get a bag of them and then spit them out, and maybe my problems with my digestive thing. No, not the Chronicles of Giardia. Williams. The Chronicles of Giardia. Not Dom's Giardia.
No. Joey B. Tony's at Costco looking for the 1,000 count package of Imodium AD.
No, we bought some Imodium. I'm not having a problem going to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's the other.
I'm having a problem stopping going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to be
Giardiasis, Giardia.
What is it called?
Giardia. It's Giardia, but you can have Giardiasis or Giardiosis or something like that.
A lot of people are going through. People are going through a lot of things. It's good to have. Like, I get colonoscopies every 5 years. I haven't had one in 4 years. Maybe I have to have one now. But the last time I did it, just like I have prostate exams, which men should do, and a lot of guys wait until they're 50 or 60 before they have their prostate checked, and then they find out it's too late. So you got to start early. You got to start when you're 40 if you're a man. Get colonoscopies, get prostate exams.
Yes.
Because you don't know when it's going to happen. And if they get it early,
colonoscopy.
If they get it early enough, it's curable.
Yes. Hurricane Mario.
Mario.
Oh, actually, it's a tropical storm still. Tropical storm.
We're in the end
Mario.
now. Is this the one on the west coast?
Yes. It's off the coast, the west coast of Mexico right now. So it's in the Atlantic. So
let's check it and update and see what our European models and Mexican models are saying right now.
But we
Robin, can you please let the Mexican models and then the spaghetti models?
So sorry.
And then the AI models? Come on, Robin.
We learned from John Belaris.
Okay, Poppy.
Okay, Poppy is right.
We learned from John Belaris that the AI model is the best.
Well, AI is better at everything except lying, and having people do work for you. That's what they do.
This is Tropical Storm Mario. Luigi
Molto
and
Mario.
Mario.
No, that guy's in trouble, right? Molto Mario went from being an icon, the redheaded guy with the flip-flops on, to being like some creep. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Mario Battaglia.
Yeah. He ended
Wasn't he exposed as a creep? He was a big, ugly, fat, redheaded
Mario
Italian guy.
Battaglia.
Wayne Atkinson doing the right thing.
Yeah, he
says, let me hear Tony's nice and slow pour. So, Robin, can you zip it long enough to do the stinking pour? This is a signature move for me. This is my signature move. Because we used to do Red Wine Friday every week. And then we started alternating, and then we didn't do shows for a long time. So now this is the sound that people want to hear, Robin. No, this is not a Harry May's pours are only in reference to vodka.
Yeah.
Not wine.
No.
Wine, there's no such thing as a bad pour, because if you go to a bar, you can get like a quarter ounce for $17 or a third of an ounce. You know, when you go to these bars and they have like these ridiculous...
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be that you could like get a half glass or a full glass, and then it went to 3.
Give me a finger. Give me 2 fingers right there. How much is that? Oh, $30. Go right ahead.
You can get a 3 ounce, a 6 ounce, or a 9 ounce pour. And the 9 ounce pour is like the same cost as a full bottle.
Exactly. That's why it's smart. That's what they do. Restaurants are like, hey, and then you look and it says one glass of Freak Show, $17. How much is the bottle? $30. Well, you're going to get more than 2 glasses.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's do the pour, Robin. Now, stat das it, as Mario would say if he were here right now.
I heard it from your mother too.
Exactly. Look at the bubbles.
That sounded like a man with prostate problems.
Yeah. No, my flow is my urinary flow is good.
Yeah.
It didn't sound. You know why? Because this is a plastic glass. You can't pour into a plastic glass and get that same full-bodied experience, Robin. You know what I'm saying? How much for one wing? No, 1 rib. How much for 1 rib? 3 fingers. That's not just for wine pours anymore, Robin. That's not for bowling balls. You know what they say about 3 fingers, Robin? 2 what?
So
it's 2 in the what and 1 in the what?
I'm not even going there. I will not go there. Thank you, Mickey Delaney, for your lovely offer.
What did he offer?
Mickey Delaney said that if something happens to you and you die, that he will marry me. That's so thoughtful.
I thought he was wishing death on me. At least he's being nice. That's nice. I don't know if I'm going to die of giardia.
No, you're not.
But I don't know if that's one of the side effects. Because it could be, most of the side effects, even on the simplest of drugs, death is one of the possibilities.
Yes, but no, you are not going to die. They actually, when he sent in his sample, so to speak.
Yeah, I sent in the stool sample.
Yeah,
it was like a different little, and then there's ones that have like cyanide in it, and you got to put the poop in the cyanide capsule.
If there was 2 vials that they warned me.
And they were very vile, by the way.
They warned me over and over and over again that said that whatever liquid was in there was extremely poisonous. Do not touch it. Don't.
No, they give you like a little porta potty.
Yeah.
And then you poop in it, and then you're supposed to take samples. And
Tony,
there's 4
do you really
vials.
need to explain
No,
to
this is
people?
not graphic. I'm not showing you the vials. And they're 4 little vials. And then 2 of them you put samples in all of them.
The lid have like a spoon attached to it, like a little. It's
sort of like you're going to custard, and you want the really dark chocolate
Tony,
one.
stop.
I mean, I always go for the chocolate custard, Robin.
God. You see, this is why I didn't want you to discuss it, because you went there.
Wow, this is a real shit show, right?
We don't have anybody in the knocker room yet. So let me explain, because we have a lot of new people. If you are watching...
Are we on Twitter as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me explain this without interruption so people don't get confused, Tony Bruno. Okay. If you are watching on nofilter.net, you can just click on the little fist at the bottom of your screen, and it will put you in what we call the green room, in
The knocker room.
The knocker room.
And who doesn't love a
and
knocker? Good knocker in a room.
You can then go live. Like I can see you're in there, and then I can bring you live on camera with us. If you are watching on YouTube, on Twitter, on all the other platforms that we are on, you can go to nofilter.net, and it's free to join.
Right, so you have to just give them your
You do
name
need to
and
make an account so that...
But you don't have to give a credit card, your firstborn's initials, or any of that
They
stuff.
don't save the information. This is an encrypted thing just for you so that you can log back in. And then you can join, just do a search for Tony Bruno Show Into the Night. We are live right on the front page right now. And then you will be in the chat room.
And then boom!
Once you're in the chat room, then you can see that little fist emblem, the little knock, and you too can join us live. And that's kind of the way we take phone calls. It's the clearest and easiest way, rather than having a phone line. If you absolutely do not want to be on camera with us, don't give permission for your camera. You can still go live. You just turn your camera off, and we can still hear you. We just won't be able to see you, but we would love to see you because we all, we love you.
We love our audience. And, we were on earlier today on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. We're mostly talking about, since the arrest of the suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk, that was the huge story, turned himself in. And so that was the big topic on regular talk radio. Right. And we're mixing in updates. We got a Florida update. We got a TMZ. And I already did my NBA rant for the night. And I didn't want to do an NBA rant. I wanted to ignore the NBA until Christmas Day, like most people do.
But then
when he comes out the other day and
out.
holds a news conference, and even the most ardent NBA honks in the media were scratching their heads. It's not just me. I mean, I scratch my head, because he got bald and you want to get that, Anyway, no NBA rants. And by the way, the other big story, which I failed to mention, it's a huge weekend, Robin.
It is.
Philadelphia and Kansas City.
And why is that important, you might ask?
Because the Royals are in town and they're playing the Phillies right now. The Phillies are playing. How about that? Coincidence that the Kansas City Royals, who basically have been eliminated from playoff contention in the American League, coming back to Philadelphia, where the Kansas City A's used to be, and then they became the Oakland A's, and now they're just the Kansas City Athletics. And what's going on? Phillies fell behind 1-0. And so we've got, did they plan it? Did they plan that Kansas City would play the Phillies on the same weekend that the Eagles would play the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch?
I don't know. I don't know if they planned it.
Of course not. But it's a joke, because that's the joke was, hey, how about this big weekend, Kansas City against Philadelphia? See, and then if you know sports, you say, yeah, we're talking about the Eagles in Kansas City against Andy Reid, Super Bowl rematch. No, it's the Kansas City Royals at the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park.
Tony, you were asking about Mario Batali.
Yes.
He did have sexual misconduct allegations against
him in 2017.
Well, who hasn't? I mean,
it's like a badge of honor, right? Not for me. I never had those.
He settled, which he has since settled, or some of them were acquitted. He was acquitted of, but he is no longer involved in restaurants or TV.
What about wearing clogs?
I'm sure he's still doing that.
So he doesn't have his own restaurants or cookware anymore?
No, he sold his ownership stake in his restaurants, including Babbo. In 2017, multiple women accused him of sexual harassment and assault, leading him to step down from his restaurants and TV shows. And then in 2022, he settled 2 lawsuits in Boston alleging sexual assault, and he was found not guilty in a separate criminal trial.
I really miss him with the clogs and.
He always seemed like a happy guy, but
Well, that's because he was getting his kicks
on Route 66.
No, in the stinking with the sous chefs.
I know.
He would take him in the freezer and say, "Excuse me, will you check my calamari?"
Interestingly that you say that, I was actually sexually harassed and groped in a restaurant freezer in one of my first.
Really?
Yes, when
I once got busy in the Burger King bathroom.
No, but
Is that similar?
This was it was when I was my bartending job when I was in college, and it
Will this
was
be in your book, Robin?
in downtown Palo Alto. I worked at a restaurant bar.
You got groped in Palo Alto?
Yeah, and
Was that near Campo de Baci?
no, Campo de Baci is in Los Gatos.
No, but there was one in Palo Alto. No, where was it? The original one.
In Livermore.
No, that's the one up in Livermore.
The Los Gatos one was the original.
Los
one.
Gatos, that's right. I get Palo Alto is up in the hills.
No, Palo Alto is down below. Los Gatos is up in the hills.
Yes.
I'm on top of it. You are not. It's okay. You have a lot of stuff going on in your brain.
Thank you, Robin. Anyway, so this Don Runyon and this guy Jeff Nadeau, whoever he is, who follows me, and this other guy, Jeff Nadeau, some random guy who is a degenerate.
Okay.
So this is what he writes. Glenn Macnow, Ray Diddy, and Angelo got a retirement tour. No one cared when you left. They don't love you like that, Tony. No, they love Jeff Nadeau with his little Hitler hair thing and his little podcast and a gambling degenerate scumbag, who I, by the way, gave credit to earlier today on 1210 WPHT. Did those guys, listen, Glenn Macnow, screw him. He's not even a Philly guy. Ray Diddy and I are great friends. Angelo and I are great friends. They wouldn't know you if they ran over your face on a street in Kensington picking up crack cocaine through your ass.
Tony, you were talking earlier about we have a separate Florida story, but you were talking earlier about teachers and how they should be held accountable.
We already went through that, Robin.
I know, but the best governor in the United States, Ron DeSantis, posted this earlier. This is per Ron DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis.
My governor.
Yes.
Not your governor. Well, he's your governor too.
And he's amazing. So he released a statement in conjunction with the Florida Department of Education confirming that any teacher who works in the state of Florida who celebrates or celebrated what happened to Charlie Kirk will be let go. Period.
Openly celebrated.
Yep.
You know, if you're posting videos of
And
you
this is
laughing and saying that his family deserved to die and his kids deserve to be fatherless.
This is the subject is part of this should be in everybody's contract, upholding professional conduct and ethical responsibilities. If you are being paid by taxpayers, you do not have unlimited free speech rights. And speaking of that, we should do the Florida update because we have a city council member in Palmetto, Florida. That's where the bugs come from. And there's some rodents down there too, like a city council member. Yes, we don't like to do politics in our Florida updates, but we have a perfectly placed one tonight. This was like a layup. It's like putting a ball on a tee for a 5-year-old to smack that baby. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this one is in Palmetto Bay, Florida. Right.
Small town.
It's right it's one of the suburbs of Miami.
Exactly. So there is a city councilman there who is now being asked to resign. This city councilman is a deadbeat, a guy who had to foreclose on his home, and a guy who was kicked out. He was disbarred as a lawyer for improper conduct. But somehow he got a job on the city council of Palmetto Bay. So after the death of Charlie Kirk, he decides to post nasty things about him.
Yes.
And it caused an uproar.
He put on his Facebook page.
Tell everybody what he wrote. And then tell me how this, any elected official who's getting paid by taxpayers, can justify doing this.
I have a video. So he put on a Facebook post mocking Charlie Kirk's death. But he also has posts asking when Trump will die.
Yep.
And here is the Channel 6 video.
Here in Florida of him. Now, remember, he's older, but look at this guy. He looks like the kind of guy you would find coming out of a drunken stupor on a beach bar like not in Sanibel because he's too
He
high.
actually
He's
kind
too
of
low
reminds
rent.
me of that mayor in Canada.
Oh yeah,
the cocaine.
He reminds me of every long-haired, drunken piece of garbage crack addict who's combing the streets looking to pick up cigarette butts. This guy's a city councilman.
Yes.
And watch now, all of a sudden, he's refusing to resign. And this is the report on the local Channel 6 in the Palmetto, Miami Beach area.
Growing calls to vacate his seat.
Can you understand why they are calling for you to step down and asking you to resign?
I understand why they're saying that, but that's not something that I'm going to do.
Village of Palmetto Bay Council member Steve Cody says he's not going anywhere after the mayor put out a statement Thursday calling for him to step down. Cody is under fire over a social media post he made about the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The councilman deleted his post, but he wrote, "Charlie Kirk is a fitting sacrifice to our lords, Smith and Wesson. Hallowed be their names." The comment was over a graphic of the activist's 2023 remarks that it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year for Second Amendment rights.
Why did you make the post?
It was
Yeah, what, buddy? What?
ill thought out.
Cody made
really?
a new post
Yeah.
Thursday titled, "I screwed up."
I regret because it was insensitive. I do think that there's a certain bit of irony in it, but
Really?
it caused a lot of pain for people I know
Oh, yeah?
and people that I respect.
Several leaders and lawmakers are also weighing in on Cody's post and calling on him to resign. Cody says if he could go back, he'd do things differently.
Yeah.
Of course.
I regret it, but
Yeah.
the best I can do is to apologize to those who I've hurt
Fuck you.
and vow to go forward. And
No, you should be run out into the beach and then left as a dead whale. You should be run out and you have to keep swimming. You have to keep going out into the ocean until we don't see you anymore. That's what I want
And
this piece of shit. He's upset because his fellow Democrats feel the same way he does. And now this piece of
He doesn't
shit.
even
And
look
by the
like
way,
he's
AJ in
upset.
San Antonio is right. We've all walked out of a beach bar in a drunken stupor. But I'm not an elected official, and I got fired for making a comment that I didn't need, that was lied about. I lost my job and career. So I don't want any of these sons of bitches who are taking money from the government getting off scot-free. I don't accept your apology, you fat piece of shit. I want you out. If I have to come up to Palmetto and physically take you out myself, I don't mean kill you. Walk your fat ass out into the ocean as far as you can walk, and then wait till I see no more bubbles. I'll be glad to do it.
Tony Bruno, that's not
I'm not
how
pushing him. I'm not holding him
But
down.
here's the thing.
I'm just walking a nice walk on the
He
beach.
is paid for by, this is a government job.
That's why he has
And
to be held
he should
accountable.
you should not be able to choose whether you resign or not. Like if the mayor and a bunch of people are saying this was a breach of conduct, you should not have the choice whether you resign or not. He should just be gone, period. You're done.
By the way, speaking of scumbags, we have this breaking news. Another scumbag, a guy who's now just a walking corpse, and a guy who was a great Tony, I'll drive to Palmetto to drag his ass. But can we stop at the Grand Cathedral Cigar first?
Oh, yes.
No, that's way up. That's in Tampa.
Well, but
That's completely out of the way. We're going due east. We got to go due north to get up to
However,
that great cigar bar.
we are maybe going to be going up to Tampa when the Eagles are here playing.
Yes.
And we might be joining Hollis Thomas's and Irving
Fryer, the Reverend
Fryer,
Irving Fryer.
the Reverend
Their
Irving Fryer,
podcast.
their podcast, and they're having a
What are they having? You mean a block party, a pregame,
Yes.
whatever?
why am I
Drunken
thinking
drunken stupor event?
what's one of the
Tailgate.
Thank you.
Robin.
Hello. Good God. Tailgate party. We're going to be joining their tailgate.
Love
We
a good
think.
tailgate.
We think, if nothing else.
I've tailed
as
a
long
lot
as Tony,
I've found a lot of tail in gates.
as long
Robin.
as Tony's tail is feeling better, we will be going up there.
Exactly. So anyway, and again, Jeff Nadeau, stick it up your big fat head ass prick, you worthless little scumbag. I gave this guy credit on a radio show. Nobody listens to his shit. The guy's no followers, and he's a scumbag.
Tuna Fang. This is why Tony doesn't drink when he's on WPHT.
No, I can drink there too.
Yeah, true. Well, where did Minnie go?
Minnie.
Minnie, did you have to go away? I'm sorry. Is it too late for you? Wait, what did he say? Minnie.
I said, "What? I haven't even had 3 fingers of quality wine tonight. I gave myself a cheap pour. That's like a $17 pour in Vegas.
Oh, I don't see Minnie. She must have had to have gone.
Damn it, Millie.
By the way, I think earlier, I don't know if she's still there, Lee Lavender was on there.
Was she really?
Yes.
Where is Lee Lavender?
And I think who she goes by Lisa Lavender,
Yes.
but she's on some of the social medias as Lee Lavender, who is our very good medium friend. And we are going to have her on the show.
I need a reading. Yeah, I need a reading.
Yeah, we're going to actually have her come in and do a live reading in studio with us. She is the Naples medium. And she has become a good friend, and we are very, very excited because I've never had a reading.
I need
You've
some
never had
good vibrations, Robin. Not from the Beach Boys. By the way,
Lee,
Philly Godfather has the over-under on Robin slurring tonight, and we're not even the first hour into the show at -7.5. James Wagner says, I'm hammering the over, AJ.
Oh, ye of little
hammering
faith.
the over. Now, let's see, Robin. Let me see the bottle. Because people have seen my pour, which is still it's like
right here. It's a half. We have half.
But my pour was 3 fingers, and it has been confirmed, and we called for a measurement. Now they have the virtual measurement, so I don't even have to put the glass out there. It knows exactly where the 3-finger pour was, Robin. Not the 4-finger discount, which a lot of people enjoy these days as well. Hammer the over. I love our listeners. You know why? Because we can jibe with each other. Not the 5-finger death punch. I don't know that one, do we?
David in South Carolina said, Miss Robin, I signed up for No Filter. I will join next week. Wonderful.
Beautiful. Now we have anybody in the knockout room, Robin?
We do.
Robin, you are being remiss.
I am.
You're worried about alcohol consumption.
What happened? I'm showing that there's somebody in there, but I don't see it.
Where did everybody go?
I don't know.
They've gone to Betson's.
What the hell is Betson's?
Betson's is a furniture company, and then the guy would say, where did everybody go? And then the place was empty. It'd gone to Betson's, which is one of those discount furniture places back in, I don't even know if they're still in business.
If you're still listening, do you still see somebody in the knocker room? My knocker room is being funky right now.
No, when you said that, I opened it. I don't see anyone here.
Well, you're welcome to come on in if you're on X and following us now, not on Ecstasy, but on X. Yeah, and James Wagner, I'm going to Silo because Silo's having a sale. That's where I bought my red computer. Remember that, Rob? No, that wasn't Silo.
It wasn't Computer Warehouse.
No, it was
Circuit City.
Circuit City. I bought my beautiful red Sony Vaio, the greatest computer I ever bought. And they were going out of business. You know what I'm saying? Where the service was state of the art. You're absolutely right, Joe Quills. Silo is having a sale.
Silo. I've never heard of
Yeah,
Silo.
that's great computer knowledge. Back when computers were first coming out and they cost $3,000 for one with a floppy disk drive. $3,000 for a compact Presario.
I know.
Now you can get, they're expensive again because they're putting 72 million gig of RAM.
This one that I have right here, my laptop.
That's a gaming computer, right?
Now, this is a gaming computer, and we needed this for when we were traveling to Super Bowl because I had to run everything off of here. This is like a $2,000 laptop. The PC that is running the shows here in the home studio, that's about a $1,200 computer. What
is this, Storage Wars here? That's a $1,200 item all night long,
right
Clark. Joe Quills, thankfully, I don't have a floppy disk drive when the ladies are around. Oh.
Tuna Fang. Crazy Eddie had some great cheesy commercials.
His prices were insane. I knew the guy who did the commercials. I work with him in New York at WOR.
Ooh, speaking of commercials.
Yes.
We, after the show is over.
Oh, this is phenomenal. Which commercial? Oh, no, I don't want to talk about that commercial. I wanted to talk about the video that we saw today. Remember I told it to you and it was hilarious? It was funny. I don't even remember
I don't
now.
even know what you're talking about.
It was a fake commercial, but it was funny because it basically was calling out all the morons.
Oh, you mean the song? You're talking about the song, right?
I don't know, Robin. I've done 2 shows today in the last 8 hours. You think I'm going to remember everything? I'm old.
Well, what's my excuse then?
I don't know, Robin. You're just ADD.
I do have
You can't
ADD.
focus on anything for more than 5 seconds.
And I haven't taken my Adderall in like 2 years. I have a couple left. I should start selling them.
Right.
AJ and Santa, Robin's memory has split after all the wine. No, it happened way before that, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of people got their sofas at Levitt's. You'll love it at Levitt's. Remember that?
We got our new sofa at
From Rooms to Go. Yeah.
And it is.
We have someone in the knocker room.
Oh, do
Oh,
we?
Bisa.
Hold on. Okay. There we go. Now it's working.
David in South Carolina, I had a floppy disk, but I got the pills. Hims or hers?
Let's
I don't know
go
anymore.
to the knocker room. The fabulous James Wagner. We haven't heard from him for a while.
Oh, love him. Love James. Not Bobby Wagner playing for your Washington Redskins now. He looked good last night. But how about those Green Bay Packers, man?
James, turn on your camera.
Turn on your heart light. Let it shine wherever you are. I don't know if he's there.
Was it heart light or night light?
No, turn on your heart light. Remember? He had a little heart in the movie.
James,
Right?
how are you?
Remember in E.T., that was the song about E.T.
That was an E.T. song?
Yeah, it was about, E.T., turn on your heart light.
I
Remember
did
his
not
chest would
know
light up?
that.
Remember that, James?
Yeah, I do.
E.T., phone home. Robin couldn't get home because she's always on the phone and she would miss the call if E.T. was trying to phone home. What's going on tonight, James?
Well, I'm just getting ready for my first football game of the season at home tomorrow. Stevenson hosting Widener. You were talking about Chester. Of course,
Yes.
Widener is in Chester.
How about your Temple University football Owls with a big one? Oklahoma in town, and there's been a takeover of the only bar that people know in Center City, Philadelphia, the Hard Rock, right there on Market Street, because that's where apparently all the out-of-town people go to start getting liquored up. And if you're from Oklahoma, let's be honest, you know you're going to be putting on a bender tonight in Philadelphia.
You're going to end up in South Philly somewhere. Just stay east of 40th Street. You'll be fine.
Exactly right, man. Avoid it.
So I was thinking about your point earlier about, talking about the NBA and having to Google games and finding them on Apple TV, Roku. Like Major League Baseball has that Sunday morning game on Roku every so often. Like the Phillies have been on like 5 times. I'm kind of getting to the point where, we're going to just have games that are that each team's going to have its own like
Right. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But but you're not getting every game for free. In
Correct.
Philly, you have to have Comcast Sportsnet or Comcast Philadelphia or NBC Sports Philadelphia, and they'll show a lot of the home games. The point is, the woman in the New York Times who asked the question of Adam Silver broke it down. They broke it down in the New York. Did you see that piece? It was broken down to every cent on how many different places you need to have. My problem, and it's not me because I'm not an NBA lover. I don't hate the players. I don't hate the game. I hate what they've done to the game. The problem is the commissioner's sort of like flippantly saying, hey, you get highlights. Go get an ear, get the rabbit ears. Could you imagine a man who's running one of the biggest corporations on earth referring to rabbit ears in 2025?
I mean, for me, like I work in college. I work in Division III college athletics, and a lot of our places are now using AI cameras to broadcast.
Right, exactly.
In smaller departments. So as the years go on, as AI technology gets better, the revenue streams for these leagues are going to be better because we don't need to pay cameramen, we don't need to pay audio
Exactly.
people.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
But to your point, you look at the NFL this year. You have to watch games on Amazon Prime, YouTube, Netflix. And then the major networks, like we have here in my house in Baltimore, we have YouTube TV. We don't even have Masson. I can watch the Nationals. I mean, watch the Wizards and the Mystics and the Capitals on Monumental, but I've got to pay extra to watch Masson. And the Orioles have not done that this year, where I can justify.
Well, nobody wants to, last year the Orioles were the talk of the town. Now people don't want to watch them. Now they played well here and there, but they've been one of the really big disappointments of the year after all the hype last year. But the Baltimore Ravens look good. They wound up losing that crazy game the other night. People want to see sports, and they're willing to pay. I'm not saying people shouldn't pay for sports and should get it for free, but I'm saying when you confuse people, and it wasn't really that long ago, Brian, when we're talking about, Phillies fans are like, where's the game on tonight? Not everybody has Apple TV. Not everybody has.
James, honey.
I'm James. I'm sorry. There's another one. Not Rob. Did I call him Robert?
There's a Brian.
Brian
as well.
Wagner. There's a lot of Wagners out there. I mentioned Bobby Wagner with your Washington Redskins. Are they your Washington Redskins?
No, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's funny because, last night I was out with my wife, we were at the bar, and it was about time for the Commanders and Packers to come on. And do you wonder if the bar has Amazon Prime? Do they have to put the Amazon Fire Stick in all their TVs? Do they have to, it's just, before you used to go to, a bar and it's like throw on WPHL, the great entertainer. The Phillies are playing, Andy Musser and those people. Like, great. But now it's just so complicated. You've got to have all these channels. And, especially in college athletics where a lot of our events on the Division I level are on ESPN Plus, but ESPN Plus has so many layers of, last night there was an HBCU game on that was on red turf. I could watch on ESPN2. On ESPN Plus on noon tomorrow, if I wasn't working, I could watch my choice of 50 games. I could watch LIU. I could watch Wagner. I could watch this. But, having everything in one centralized location where I can just pay one fee and watch whatever game I want, so I have to find which app I'm on. That's your point. It is to your point. It's just, it gets difficult. The average sports fan who doesn't have, a smartphone or doesn't, wants to, like the famous joke of Philadelphia, having to call your dad and tell him the game's on Apple TV and them not knowing how to watch the Phillies on a Friday night on Apple TV.
Now, I get there are older people that don't know how to work remote controls and don't have any. I'm not an expert, but I know digital. I was one of the first people on terrestrial radio who embraced the digital world
you were.
and was doing podcasts before anybody even thought of them. Now, everybody, especially people who are getting fired from CNN and MSNBC, have podcasts because that's the only place they have to go. I had jobs on radio and was still doing digital because I embraced the future, which is digital audio. A lot of people don't as they get older. They say, screw it. I don't need a remote control. Change the channel. Go up and change the channel for me, son. Make sure you turn the rabbit ears so I don't miss. And
one thing you're seeing too is because of a lot of the games being on digital, you're seeing the major networks lose inventory. They can't put on the college football games. That's why you're seeing a lot of WNBA games during the day, seeing sporting events. I mean, from a college standpoint, in my business, obviously we're promoting women's sports and they're on ABC, they're on ESPN, which is great, but there's not a lot of inventory out there because everything's either on ESPN Plus, it's on cable, it's on digital. Like there are some Mountain West football games that are only on the app.
Right.
Like you can't, like for the longest time, you might remember this, Hawaii football.
Yeah,
Hawaii
late
football,
night, midnight, you have to wait for midnight. That's when the degenerate gamblers would try to get back all they lost in the early games. They always had that midnight Hawaii game.
Yes, but it was only on an app, and you had to find like an illegal stream to watch it. I mean, the only good thing for me about digital is I spent a lot of time in the car going back and forth, and obviously listening to you and Harry on your days in 97.5. I used to work for the Camden River Sharks, so I
love that ballpark, by the way.
Oh,
that was
gone.
a great. I know it was a great little ballpark park right across. We lived in Dockside. We'd see the lights on Friday nights. It was awesome.
I mean, I have a famous photo. I'll have to send it to you of one night I wasn't there. Von Hayes punched an umpire.
Von Hayes was playing in that ballpark?
No, he was the manager of the Camden
River.
Oh,
that's right. At the end, you know who was the third baseman for the River Sharks? Another former Philly legend.
Pedro Feliz.
Pete Happy, as we called him, for those of you who comprende español.
I used to score there.
Pete Feliz Happy, Robin. Pete Happy. You get it?
I get
comprende.
It.
But I would listen to now one thing in the car. I can listen to all the college football games that I want and all the baseball games on satellite radio because they have every home team broadcast, away team broadcast, and that's one thing that's come out of this digital age is great is that I can listen to Sirius has this college football
Right.
blitz, which is like the whip around coverage, which is great because I have ADHD and I can't pay attention to one game at one time. I've got to figure out what's going on at 17 games.
You're like the AP voters who have no idea which team they're voting on because they can't watch the games. Back in the day when I worked at ESPN with Beano Cook, he would always talk about, they had the coaches poll and then then they had the writers poll, which was the AP, and then they would collaborate and then figure out who number 1 to 25 was. But Beano always said to me that the coaches poll, none of these coaches knew what happened on a Saturday. They're too busy coaching their games. So the athletic directors of school would get the coaches poll and write out the teams that they thought were playing the best. Coaches didn't have time to vote on polls. Sports writers, they had nothing else to do. Yeah, they were watching games, but it was harder back then because you didn't have the access to the internet. You didn't have, you could not go online and see highlights of every game. When a touchdown is scored, you know exactly who had scored it, how many times they scored. So the world is much easier to navigate now with all the technology. But back then, that was primitive. Coaches poll now, but they're still doing it. College football is so confused, they don't know what to turn to next. They didn't want to pay the players, and the players got angry. Then they got NIL, and now players making $10 million a year. They just haven't found one single way to make people happy watching a sport that still doesn't have a legitimate march to champion. They can keep adding teams, but the bottom line is the power conferences, none of these lower schools will ever have a chance to win a national championship. That's just the facts.
And again, I work in Division III, and we in Division III are tied to the television contract that pays for everything, pays for all our championships, pays for our travel. Same thing in Division II. They've said to us, if the Power Four breaks away and the NCAA becomes a different organization, we can last 10 more years, and that's it. And it is you're right, to the point in Division I football. I mean, look at the championship subdivision, the former 1AA, where the Villanovas live and the Sacred Hearts and all them. They have a championship structure and it works out pretty well. Division III, we have a championship structure, works out pretty well. Doesn't say you can't have the bowl games like the Orange Bowl and
but those are not like they used those would be the bowl games where they picked the best teams, the conferences that were represented. You knew who was going to be in, which conferences were in the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, and it was easier to understand for fans. Now, you got conferences where there are teams from the Mountain West playing in Boston, and I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And having super conferences where there's 30 teams, it used to be the Big 8 and then the Big 10, now it's the Big 25. It's just too much. And again, if you want to watch it, go ahead. I'm not telling people not to watch college football. To me, it's just too tedious, especially when you have players leaving right away and you got quarterbacks being paid $12 million who haven't shown you any inkling that they're ready to be a professional. And so if you're giving a kid $12 million to be a quarterback without proving anything, how much pressure is on that guy to do something? And if he bombs, it's like getting a first-round draft pick and your team sucks. Except that kid will go away and still somehow get a job in professional sports, maybe even get drafted in the NFL because he plays for a Michigan or another big school. That's the ridiculousness of all of this.
The super conferences, from a football and basketball standpoint, are great. But dealing with this, we have 29 sports at Stevenson, obviously softball and everything. Let's people don't look at this. So the University of Washington softball team now has to fly to Rutgers, and they're not going to fly. They're not going to fly charter. They're going to fly to Rutgers. We talk about the joke was the UCLA men's soccer team flying to Maryland in November, then having to bus to University Park to play in the snow.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's not good for welfare. I mean, you look at Penn State when they go to Oregon, and you remember last year James Franklin was complaining because he had to go drive to Harrisburg because their plane couldn't take off from State College because it was too heavy.
Exactly.
All he do is go to runway. He can give some of his money back, as my therapist keeps telling me because she doesn't like him. But, it's these little – she really doesn't like James Franklin. And I don't know why. But
was sloppy Chris Christie on that plane by any chance? No, he was at another Springsteen concert in New Jersey on the stage, I think, at that time. Well, no, it's good talking college football. To me, the problem is it's impossible for me to follow it because there's too many schools, too many conferences, and I want one day a week where I don't have to sit around and watch games with players that I don't know who are going to leave in a month or in a couple of weeks or not going to be there or go into the transfer portal. That's just too much information for my brain to absorb at this point in my life. I can't defrag it. I can't defrag all that information, and I don't want to add any more information that I really don't need to.
Or kids are on their 9th year of college.
Exactly. You nailed it.
That's right.
James, thanks so much, man. Thanks for checking in. Good luck. Good luck tomorrow with the club.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking sports here, Robin. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Explain Boston College having to go out to California. Vice versa.
It doesn't make sense.
Damn right. That's what I'm here. I just want logic. I'm not a complicated person. Just explain to me
No,
how...
you're right. You were a very simple person.
I am, because I want to know how it makes sense. I don't need graphs and Venn diagrams and charts and all that other bullshit. Just tell me and make sense of it. That's all.
Newman Price.
Yes.
He's
Price.
He's watching on X.
Yes.
Newman, you are a genius with jingles and stuff. I've been trying to get a hold of you somehow.
He said he was going to make... Now, we had one from the great Mike Opelka.
Yes.
New open for the show.
He sent us, and then he left out the last
Wait a minute.
bit of it.
You're getting something for free that's well produced, and now you're going to bitch?
I'm not bitching. I'm just asking for the whole enchilada so that it doesn't abruptly cut off. And as you said, you like variety because variety is the spice of life.
Not too spicy though, because I got agita.
It just needs to be like a minute and a half open, and then it just needs to be vamping for like another.
No, not vamping. Just like a nice background.
Yeah.
Bring
so
it
that
low,
Tony,
low and
so
underneath.
So we can bring the level
low
down.
Low and underneath, like my women.
So that we
Sometimes I like them hard and on top, hot, loud and on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This low and underneath, and then loud and on top.
Okay.
Those are my two favorite motifs, so to speak.
Yes.
You follow me?
And then we can bring the audio down so that Tony can talk over it.
Exactly right. It's called up and under.
Up and under?
That's another one of those radio terms, Robin.
Up and
you know
under? The only radio term that
up and over was, remember.
That I did not know.
Up and over?
I couldn't even fathom what it meant was an RCH.
Well, that's a technical term, Robin, and you've learned from the best.
I thought you were totally making it. I thought you were talking out of your ass when you told me.
Well, I talk out of my ass because it's been saying a lot of things these days, and they're not pleasant things.
Well, your ass is talking all on its own, which is not pleasant. But RCH, for those, if you
we don't need to explain technical terms,
yes,
Robin.
I'm going to explain this because I brought it up.
No, not. You brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
I brought it up.
Let's get back to
Does anybody want to know what an RCH is?
Let's get back to the finely tuned scripted show that we are already in progress.
Okay.
We got to do the TMZ exposed.
Yes.
Listen, TMZ. I give them credit. They came up with this idea.
Do you know he's 75?
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks really good.
You have made the kind of money. He was the guy on Court TV who used to interview the people when they went out to see Judge Wapner. That's where he started, Harvey Levin.
I did not know that.
And then my buddy Kurt Chaplin replaced him.
He took over for Harvey.
But Harvey Levin was not the court reporter. He was the guy that was outside of the studio where they were filming the show, and then they would render a verdict, and then Harvey Levin would be the guy, let's go outside and see what the people in the streets are saying. And some guy with crack coming out of his nose would say, I think this dude is guilty as fuck, man. You got another 40 for me, bro. I ain't doing this shit for free. I ain't standing out in the cold in New York City to watch a stupid verdict on a TV. So anyway.
I did not know that Harvey Levin
So
was
Harvey
75.
Levin, to his credit,
Yep.
he went out to L.A. and started this TMZ, which is the 10-mile zone. That's what it means.
I did not know that
It's
either.
the 10-mile area around Hollywood. And their claim to fame is that they would get people with cell phones, because we saw them all the time. We would fly into LAX.
And they were annoying.
They were just people with cell phones who would go down to LAX and wait for some celebrity.
Right.
Remember, we were there once with my buddy, Ice Cube. Ice Cube was on the same flight, or was on another flight. We were at baggage claim.
We were at dueling baggage claims, right?
Yeah, so I see him, he sees me, we hug because we're boys. And then, of course, they didn't know who I was, but then this guy with a phone, hey, Ice Cube, tell us what's going on. And that's what they did. And they paid people like $25 to hang out at Los Angeles International Airport to get a celebrity.
Right.
And try to get them to say something controversial. Then they expanded. They have like 50 people sitting in this big room, all college dropouts, failed musical theater dolts, and people just looking for a chance to work in porn or to go find a strip club that will hire them. And most of the women who are not attractive would maybe get a lunchtime shift on Hollywood Boulevard. And then these people now all of a sudden are journalists. And yesterday they got what they did is they overbid for the video of this kid who was the shooter jumping off a roof and having the gun, and you've seen the video. Right. They didn't get that video, so they call it TMZ, and they put the TMZ logo over it.
It's a TMZ video. No, it wasn't. It was like somebody's ring, and they paid for it.
Exactly. There were cameras all over that campus.
Exclusive rights.
And so all these media people, legitimate ones, were paying money to get that video. Right. TMZ outbid them so they can pretend that they were journalists when they had nothing to do with obtaining that video except paying for it. But the other thing that was exposed the other day is when TMZ acted as if that the people cheering in their newsroom were cheering about a car chase which happens every hour in LA, instead of then admitting that they were cheering because the people in the back hated Charlie Kirk just as much as they did.
So let me set it up.
Okay.
So
people may have seen this
Harvey
already.
Levin is standing in the front like he normally does, and he's talking to somebody off to the side.
He's talking to this black dude who's always there. That's like his main dude.
And they just got the notification that President Trump announced that Charlie Kirk had actually died.
Right.
And he starts talking about it. But right before that, in the background...
Well, now they do a pre-feed. So you can pick it up. If you have satellite, you can watch a lot of like TV shows.
Right in the background.
But the point is, you can watch this online.
Right.
If you have the feed.
Correct.
Because a lot of like news shows, they'll put them, like we put ourselves up on the air before we actually go out, and people can watch what we're doing. So this was a pre-feed where they were talking about what they're going to do. Coming up in the 5 o'clock, which is 2 o'clock our time.
This was the digital, and then they do their actual.
Right. That's why I want to point out that what we saw was actually them in the room before when they were announcing what time they were going to go live from LA, which is 5 o'clock Pacific, or actually 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern time.
In the background, when he says that President Trump has just announced that Charlie Kirk has passed away from his injuries, in the background you can hear a bunch of people cheering, happily cheering. People called it out online, etc., and then Harvey Levin comes on and explains, no, that had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk dying. Exactly. This was because of a car chase. They were cheering because of that. Now, Peggy Bolton, who is a independent online journalist, like she does a lot of this investigation stuff, and she just really zones in on timelines and this and that.
So she had the video counter, and so you can see it on TV shows,
and she'll explain it to you better than we can.
I just wanted to set this up because not everybody knows about this,
and so listen to how Peggy Bolton has proven that Harvey Levin is absolutely lying.
You mean full of shit, Harvey?
Yeah. He absolutely is lying, because his people were cheering
the fact that
100%.
that Charlie Kirk was dead.
Yes.
And they fucking lied.
Oh, I don't need TMZ's cameras. There's nothing I love more than a good investigation, and I'm coming to you guys with the receipts.
Janet, go to have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
As we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here.
Exhibit A, the alleged car chase that they were watching.
Right there on the banner below, you can see it started in Temple City, and we saw that. Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that is the breaking news that we are likely about to have with ABC News.
Exhibit B, the giant clocks around their office. Exhibit C, don't worry, you won't have to do the math because I've done it for you. Timestamp, time. It is 1:07 and 15 seconds in the afternoon, with the timestamp on their video of 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 5 seconds.
For 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific.
Exhibit D, we have the cheering starting at exactly 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 15 second mark, which is a difference of 35 minutes and 10 seconds. So if you take the timestamp plus the clock saying it was 1:07 and 15 seconds, add 35 minutes and 15 seconds, what time would you have?
Oh, it's math.
1:43. So they technically were watching a car chase video. What do you think they were cheering for?
People in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people.
Oh, yeah.
And they were not laughing. They were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's
not at all.
assassination. They were not. They would not work here
Oh,
if they
yeah,
did.
right. You can get an intern off the street doing crack and bring them in there into that room, and they would all be nodding assholes.
There are prior TMZ employees who have come out and they've said, no, those people absolutely would be cheering this on. So,
No, of course they are. They're all West Coast brain dead leftists. These people have no conscience. They don't even know. They don't even know the stories they're reporting on. Have you ever seen that where they sit around? Oh, we got this story from Lady Gaga.
TMZ.
Oh yeah, we got Lady Gaga coming into the airport.
TMZ is kind of like ambulance chasers.
It's not even ambulance chasing anymore.
But they do. I mean, but they
They
do,
just have cornered the market on vapid or vapid, whichever you would like to say, celebrity chasing idiots who think that somebody getting out of a limo on Hollywood Boulevard somehow, and it is for a lot of people who don't have anything to do in their life and just worship celebrities, that's what they do. They watch TMZ.
It's not even about worshiping celebrities, though, because they don't respect the celebrities anymore. They
want to see some celebrity like fall out of a car.
They want they're ambulance chasers. That is what TMZ is now, and it's
they're not. No, Robin, I disagree. Ambulance chasers are looking for crime scenes and reporting on them.
Tony, you are. I have expanded the.
No, that's not what an ambulance chaser is. Like a lawyer who's ready for a car crash and goes right to the scene to defend the victim.
Okay, what is the equivalent of an ambulance chaser? A muckraker? Somebody that just wants
CNN, MSNBC. The New York Times.
But they're like the worst. They don't care about the subject or.
But that's not
decency.
what TM. That's not really an accurate to be. With all due respect, Robin, that's not an accurate representation of what they do. They're just muckraking, celebrity sucking douchebags. And if they can pay more for a video that multiple people are bidding for, they will, so that they can pretend they have breaking news and pretend that they're actually journalists when they couldn't report on a bowel movement without getting somebody to help them.
TMZ is the kind of publication that would also take the goriest of something and put
No, they don't. They do not do that, Robin. They do not do that. So I don't know what you've been watching, but you have been completely off base, with all due respect again.
Somebody please, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think that they show, like if somebody else will show the Charlie Kirk
They're
video.
not going to show that on TMZ. They didn't. Most respectable people did not
I'm
show
not
the
saying
blood
live.
coming out.
I don't think they would. They won't
They
show
weren't on live. They're taped in the afternoon.
Yeah,
they don't go on till
But
8
they won't
o'clock
show it
here.
on their actual TV show, but they show it on their digital publications. Absolutely,
Robin,
they
I'm
do.
sorry, sweetie. You were just way off base on this. The fact that you don't understand what TMZ is all about is shocking, since you lived in LA for a long time. They're a shithole, but they get it done. It's like the National Enquirer, except the National Enquirer put up preposterous headlines that didn't exist. That's how they sold magazines. You can't compare TMZ to anything. Jesus, Robin. Have you been drinking tonight?
Yeah, but I'm not feeling it.
All right, I need another glass of wine just to get through this with you, Robin.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
Here.
know how I can deal with this anymore. I really don't.
Kaylin says, until Charlie's passing, I seriously didn't know TMZ was still around.
I didn't either. I don't watch that crap. Who sits around in the afternoon and watches that garbage? It's basically filler programming for most local stations who don't have that window between 5 and 6 before they bring on their local news or whatever other syndicated program they have on. It's just filler programming. And if you want to watch it, go ahead. I'm not telling people not to watch TMZ. I'm just telling you who and what they are, based on facts and knowledge. That's it. I have no reason to hate Harvey Levin. The guy's a multimillionaire. The problem is the guy's a con artist. The guy's a snake oil salesman, and he hires all these cheering hyenas to sit around in all these empty chairs and pretend like they know shit. The more people they add, the more stupid they become. Watch the show just for one day, Robin. Watch how all those hyenas in there are basically ejaculating when they talk about Lady Gaga and all these other. Oh, Lady Gaga, did you see her coming out of that hotel? Oh, out of that restaurant on Hollywood Boulevard? Holy shit. I can't believe it.
It is pretty grotesque.
And if you want to worship athletes, go right ahead, or celebrities, go right ahead.
I've never done that. I've never done that.
Wait a minute. AJ in San Antonio says, I had Robin, are you drinking being asked in the first hour of the show. I lost that bet.
Play Action Real then says you can make it up with a slur counter. I am not slurring.
Yeah, we need a slur. Like that woman was incredible, though. You see? And then she got into all these math equations.
I know. I was impressed.
But that's a breakdown. When you can look at the clock and then see what pieces of shit lying sons of bitches Harvey Levin and those hyenas at TMZ are. And I want you to sue me, Harvey. Why don't you come after me, Putz boy? Bring your little boy next to you and all the other little hyenas and bring them out. Come out here to Florida, punk. Come out here to Florida instead of hiding in L.A.
Hey, Tony, I'm just looking up at the counter. I want to thank all of the new people. We have a lot of new people that are watching tonight. And I just want to remind people that are new that we appreciate you. We thank you very much. Please share, like, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever the show. Share it now, share it later, share it often. We love you, and we hope to see you back on Friday nights. Every Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m.
We said once we got into the new house, we would crank up the regularly scheduled programming on Friday nights. We even did a day-night doubleheader, Robin.
Yes, we did.
And the fact that I'm still able to sit here and absorb the kind of disinformation or misinformation or deep fakes and cheap fakes you've been trying to throw at me, I think it's remarkable.
I think it's remarkable you haven't had to run to the bathroom. I think that's
I know.
pretty good.
I mean, I'm taking medication, Robin.
Yes.
Imagine if I had to run to the bathroom during this show with no breaks, Robin.
I know.
This is the work of heroes. Not all heroes wear diapers to have to avoid going to the bathroom and pooping themselves. That would be Joe Biden, but I digress.
And for those of you who are just tuning in, this is not a normal instance for Tony Bruno. He has something called Giardia.
Giardia. Hey, I need a fancy jingle. Can somebody? Yeah, you got Giardia, and you feel so good. Let's make a jingle and dance in the neighborhood.
Giardiasis, I don't know, is a parasitic infection of the small intestine caused by the protozoan parasite Giardia lamblia.
What kind of parasite?
Protozoan. Like caveman shit. Literally.
Back in the day. Remember the song? The only people alive were troglodytes, cavemen,
ingestion
women.
Of contaminated water, ding, 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 or food, which untreated water.
Yes.
This is definitely what happened. And I'm shocked that I didn't get the same thing.
I am too.
I'm absolutely shocked.
Well, the one way you can avoid it is never going ass to mouth, which I don't recommend anybody doing unless you're Scott Wiener and you're a senator in San Francisco where that's okay.
Bruno.
No, that's who he is, Robin.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But that's how you get it. Anal sex, going ass to mouth.
You can get it if somebody has it, and
yes, it's a parasite.
Yes,
and it's transmitted through bad water and anal sex.
And it's through poop.
Most people don't play with other people's poop, Robin.
I know, but
even in nursing homes, people have bedpans and then they come and clean it out.
But you can get it like if you are changing somebody's diapers and they have it, you could, and you don't wash your hands afterwards. Or I mean, there's like always all sorts of ways. But there's absolutely 100% guaranteed that you got it from the bad water prior to us.
But you refuse to acknowledge that the other ways of transmitting it for somebody who has it is by doing scat. And people like to do that. I don't care if you want to do butt play. I don't care if you want to do ass to mouth. That's as long as you keep it in your house.
That is definitely not the number one way of getting
it. No,
it.
but it is
a way.
That's like saying that Scott Wiener, the senator in San Francisco, saying that if you're gay and you have HIV and you pick some random guy up and have sex with him, you do not have to tell him that you have HIV.
That is insane.
But that's what he did.
I know.
This isn't me making shit
is
up.
Insane. That would be like coming back from traveling somewhere and you have the bubonic plague, but you're not showing symptoms, but you know you have it. And you're going to go around and just like hang out with people and not mention that you have a bubonic plague. It's so insane. Anyway.
I love people who misquote me. There's this one guy, Philly Carajo, another dirtbag. Tony, can you show us where Senator Williams said Floyd was a hero, or do you just make up a straw man for engagement? No, Philly Carajo, pendejo, whatever you are. I didn't quote Senator Anthony Williams. I said that Anthony Williams calling Charlie Kirk a racist and a criminal is the same guy who probably thought that George Floyd was a hero. And I guarantee you he was one of those people when George Floyd died who was in favor of putting up statues and having gold caskets. That's a fact. I'm not saying he said that. I'm saying he's the kind of guy who makes everything about race. And anybody who's white is the devil. And anybody who's black is okay and gets away scot-free whenever they say something irresponsible or do something irresponsible. So clean your ass and your ears out and your ass at the same time.
Reading matters. Learning how to read properly and comprehending what you are reading.
It's not about reading. It's about listening. It's about listening, asshole.
He was reading what you wrote, so that would be part of
I didn't write that. I did not write. Williams said that he was.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't say that.
So then why are you defending this guy?
You didn't. I'm not.
Anthony Williams is a state senator who was an absolute white-hating piece of garbage.
Yes.
You can quote me. Get Anthony Williams to call me. Tell me that he's not a race-baiting piece of shit like pretty much every other elected official in Philadelphia and every other major Democrat-controlled city, which is pretty much all of them. All right? You can quote me. You want to tell Anthony Williams, call me, and I'll tell him what he is. Tell him to explain to me how Charlie Kirk was a racist, far-right criminal who hated blacks, hated gays. Explain that, Anthony. You can't because you're a piece of fucking shit. That's why you can't explain it. Fuck you and fuck everybody in the state Senate because you're all evil pricks and bastards. That's how I feel. So fuck you, Philly Carajo, who has a picture of Miss Rachel on his goddamn profile.
Oh, Lord.
Miss Rachel, another nutcase.
Yes. Who, I don't know if anybody's at. Was it Miss Rachel?
Yeah, she's another
No,
nutcase.
it was the other one.
No, the other guy.
The other guy. Blippy.
No, Miss Rachel's a nutcase
Yeah,
too.
she is too.
And these are people that our kids are watching during the day.
They're starting the indoctrination early. It's awful.
Bruno Robin in progress? Rant?
Bruno,
he meant rant.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Has AJ been smoking cigars and drinking as well with us tonight?
You know what? Hold on a second, Tony Bruno. Let me get my picture out of here. Just so that I can show that I do have it in.
What do you have?
I should have changed.
See, Robin, once again, worrying about correcting me about TMZ.
No, I was so enthralled with your rant.
I don't plan rants, Robin. They're organic.
And
orgasmic to some people.
I should have put that graphic up. I do apologize to everybody.
You don't have to apologize, Robin.
No, they're right. I'm apologizing. I should have done
I'll just
it.
give you another one of these. I mean, these don't hurt. These are well-deserved. They're like little love smacks. They're like this little...
little pat.
Joe Quillen says he has his own rant background for his stream.
Oh, see? There you go.
Everybody's got to let it out every once in a while. You don't have to go out and get a gun and kill somebody you don't like. You just let it out. You breathe.
Now,
You go in.
Brett Bolton, a.k.a. DJ Bretty B. I love me some Tony Bruno.
I love DJ Bretty B. I saw him open in Vegas at the Sphere.
Can we just all agree that we need to stop? Because even Tony, sometimes you go a little too far.
No, I don't. I'll call people names because
I know.
I call people who are evil.
No,
I don't praise people who think because they are in a position of these are position of power people.
Yes.
These aren't the slapdicks who come at me all the time. I just piss on their grave.
Okay.
No, piss in their what they were saying to Charlie?
Rest in piss.
Rest in piss. Rest in piss to all you people that don't matter, like Philly Carajo. Rest in piss because you're a no good lying punk. That's what you are. You don't matter to anybody. Nobody cares about you. So you can come at me, but I'm going to always speak truth to power when elected officials who take our tax dollars are lying and calling people who are not evil. He's evil. Anthony Williams and the rest of the corrupt Democrats in Philadelphia City Hall are all evil racists. Documented. And I can prove it, and you can't prove that Charlie Kirk is. You can't prove it because you have no idea.
One of the things that somebody wrote that Charlie Kirk was racist, and I said, I wrote back to him, I said, how? And they mentioned the fact that one of the questions that Charlie Kirk had been asked during one of the videos was his view on DEI hires.
Right.
And he said, I think they're dangerous. He says, I would rather have somebody flying a plane or doing my surgery if I needed surgery. I don't want somebody that was hired because of the color of their skin.
Exactly.
Right? So just a common sense. And that was this person's proof that this person was, that Charlie Kirk was racist. And I'm like.
Because none of these people knew because he was an easy target.
Right.
You know why? Because the left doesn't have a Charlie Kirk. They have the Harry Nissens and the David Hoggs and all of these people who can't appeal to young men who voted for Trump. And they don't have that guy.
Right.
And that's why they're angry and that's why they wanted him dead.
I wrote back to him saying, you have no idea then what the term racist means. Because being racist means that you think somebody is less because of the color of their skin.
Exactly.
You think that somebody, just because of the color of their skin, is not good enough, is less intelligent, or whatever. And somebody that is against DEI says, no, it doesn't matter what the color of their skin is, what their sex is, what their sexual orientation is. We want somebody that's best for the job. If that happens to be somebody that is a person of color, or if it's a woman, or if they're gay, I don't care,
Me
as
neither.
long as they are the best candidate for the job. That's like the opposite of being racist.
Exactly.
And
But you can't reason with people who have an agenda. Charlie Kirk's agenda wasn't racism or hating people. No. But they don't know. That's the problem. They are uninformed, illiterate, ignorant trolls and scumbags who should never be allowed even to tour. To get a tour through a Senate chamber or a House seat or any elected official. These people should be absolutely run out and they should have their careers destroyed instantly. But the dumb voters of Philadelphia keep re-electing these slugs. And so that's on you. You get the people you deserve and keep voting that way and you'll continue to be destitute, having people being shot dead on your street every night and then blaming someone else because you're the victim, and those people killing each other are the victims. They're not the criminals. Ridiculous. This is common sense, it's all. Just common sense. That's all I use. And if you can't use common sense, I can't do math. I allow other people to do it for me. But the fact that people are just so angry And they're angry because they lost an election. They're angry because that's what they're angry about. They're angry about power. I'm not saying the Republicans are saints. They're scumbags too. But you see how they ask, how they react when they think anybody is coming after their turf. Nobody's coming after your turf. You abandon your turf with your beliefs, with all of the trans praising. And again, if you want to cut your dicks and pussies off and whatever, and tits, cut them off. But don't you dare think that 5-year-old kids, and California just passed a bill in their house, and they're sending it to Gavin Newsom, that would allow children, to not have to tell their parents, or their children should be able to make the decision without parental consent that they can go have their dicks and tits cut off.
No, it's even worse. It's that another adult can,
without telling the parent,
can take custody of. So if you have a child who
believes that he's born in the wrong body,
and the parent doesn't agree, a teacher or somebody else can take custody of that child and then do it without parents' consent.
Yeah, imagine that. And this guy, people in California want this guy to be president.
If you, let me tell you, I would be hightailing it out of California if I had kids. I wouldn't want them in the public school system. I wouldn't want them pretty soon, the state of California is going to claim that they have, that your children are theirs. They are the state's children. I'm just shocked.
Again, and the fact that the problem is the average person doesn't have time to look into this stuff. This is what I do for a living. I do sports talk and I do political talk in Philly. But I don't do agenda talk. I do common sense talk. I've always have. I don't represent. I've never taken a cent or given a cent to any political party. I hate all political parties. I hate pretty much every politician. So don't pin me with being some right-wing wacko, because that's the only answer they have. And it's pretty tiresome right now. So that's my opinion. You can do with it what you want. You don't have to agree with me. But I'll tell you one thing, I won't come after you and try to kill you if you disagree with me.
You might yell at them a little bit.
No, I won't yell at people. If you come after me, I may knock you out. And you better hope that I'm not packing.
You yell at me.
But I'm not threatening your life.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying I didn't say you were going to threaten somebody's life. But
California people are absolutely abandoning that state by record numbers.
I know.
And that Gavin Newsom and his honks out there just don't want people to know. They don't want the people in California are so mindless and brain dead. They don't even care.
Yep. SE Miriam 63 Miriam 60. I don't know how you want to pronounce that, but she says if you deny gender ID in California, they will take your child away.
Imagine living in a state like that and thinking that somehow Charlie Kirk was a fascist and a racist and who hated gays and blacks and all this other stuff. Imagine that. This is legislation that was voted on and passed in the assembly by Democrats in California who control the entire state with few exceptions. But somehow that's not fascism?
No, it's so
What about
weird.
my body, my choice? What about parental concern?
The other thing is that if any black person came out in defense of Charlie Kirk, they are being called white. I love this. A white supremacist, a black person being called, or Uncle Tom, or whatever.
Exactly. Because these people are so brainwashed because their friends who are brainwashed all believe what they're told. When these people know absolutely jack shit about anything that's going on in the world right now.
It makes you, like, you study history and you find out about certain things, some smaller, some bigger, when an entire group or population has become, has gone crazy. Like in the witch trials, for example, when...
Well, the witches have returned to Boston. Have you seen the whack jobs up in Massachusetts? Massachusetts may have the most deranged elected officials in the entire world. That's pretty hard to say.
That is pretty hard to say.
There's not one person in any elected office who is not batshit crazy.
But
look it up.
The witch trials in Salem, for example, which have been highly publicized.
Never heard of them, Robin.
An entire town was convinced that witches were making them be possessed and was doing like they became in sort of this frenzy. Then you look at something even bigger, like during the Holocaust, where an entire country was made to be convinced by Hitler that.
Poster for Wait a minute, I got to play this. This is breaking news. So, in Office Depot, this is breaking news.
No, I saw that.
Did you see this?
Yes, I saw that earlier.
Which state? It's got to be the West Coast. It's got to be Oregon. It's got to be California or Washington State. So let's see. I want to find out where it is.
I'll play it so that people can.
But I want to know where the state is because I don't know if it's identified.
Kalamazoo County.
So Michigan, where the real witch, Gretchen Whitmer.
This is in
the
Kalamazoo.
Botox Bhutan.
So a Kalamazoo County Republican Party representative placed an order for a poster of Charlie Kirk for a vigil that's being held tonight.
In Kalamazoo, Michigan?
Kalamazoo, yeah. And
maybe they should hand out Flint water for the residents there and let them drink it.
He paid for it up front,
Mm-hmm.
sent in the order like I've done multiple times to Office Depot.
Right.
When he went to pick it up, the print supervisor called and said they were refusing to print the poster because it was propaganda.
Play the video. We have this video of it. So this is documented. This isn't some made-up bullshit right-wing conspiracy. This is the actual video and audio of these sons of bitches in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is why I root against anything Michigan. I love Michigan. I love the Upper Peninsula. But the state of Michigan is the most corrupt. City of Chicago has been historically the most corrupt shithole ever in this country. And it doesn't matter how anything goes with race. You go back in the history of all the scumbags who have run Chicago and the state of Illinois, it's mind-boggling.
They, just as a real quick update, they went to FedEx afterwards and they printed the poster for free. So
I'm not going to call for boycotts of Office Depot. This one store, though, these people should never, ever live this down.
Well, this person should. This is totally false because that's anyway.
Can you play the video so we can hear it?
So we came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yes,
for somebody that passed. It's not.
It's propaganda. I'm sorry, we don't put that here.
Alrighty. So, what's your name?
Carol. I'm print supervisor. I'm one of the managers.
Yes.
So, unfortunately,
so they say they don't print political propaganda. No. So this is somebody that passed away a couple years ago.
That's political propaganda, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
So this is for a prayer tonight, for a prayer vigil?
Mm-hmm. It's still propaganda, unfortunately.
What makes it propaganda?
Because he's a political figure, and I don't have to.
Our general manager is going to be in on Monday. If you want to speak further on the subject,
you would like to,
you're welcome to return.
Thank you.
So the guy brought in the receipt, and it shows the receipt, and it shows the poster. And the poster is Charlie Kirk with a suit on, with a fist pump, and it says the legendary Charlie Kirk, 1993, 2027. Yeah, but I want to read it because not everybody is watching.
Okay.
And it's an innocuous poster where there was going to be a prayer vigil for him tonight. And that's considered propaganda to these fascist, probably multiple septum rings, anal plugs, and all the other things that these
But all
these
this says,
mutants.
it says, pray for the Kirk family, pray for the nation, prayer vigil remembering Charlie Kirk, the date tonight, and Bronson Park.
And
That's it.
that Office Depot whole staff should be fired and thrown out and have their taped by their septum rings and pulled out into the streets and left for dead. That's what I would do if I was there, if I had enough energy.
So we came in for an
look at this.
order
Look at the fat pig, the manager. You see her? Can you see her? It's this big fat blob.
Yeah, I just played it.
But did you see? I didn't see her. So there's a big
You
fat.
were watching
I
the
wasn't.
video.
I was listening to it. So there's this big fat mutation with black hair and then the stringy. You know, the
I thought she was
typical-
wearing a wig at first.
No, that's
because
just a genetic mutation. And there's the other dope in the chair. That other piece of shit. Is she also saying that?
Yeah, they're
that
all. So
they're both
she's-
saying it's propaganda.
So the guy in the red is the print
That's
manager.
a guy?
Yeah, the guy in the red is the print manager, and then the woman is the store manager.
They both should be out on the streets and doing crack on the sidewalks in downtown Flint. They should be forced to drink gallons of Flint water just to prove that it's safe. Unbelievable, man. So my septum ring theory, I don't think I saw a septum ring. I bet you she has anal beads, though, or a green dildo when she goes to the WNBA games in Chicago to see that other superstar in the WNBA with the Chicago Sky, the chick that can't make a layup or even a 5-foot jumper. You know what I'm saying? You follow me, Robin?
Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes I
Well,
follow.
this one was easy to follow,
Yeah. Tony, look at what time it is already.
Bedtime for Bonzo?
No, I mean, it's amazing that these 2 hours have just flown by. Uh-oh. There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you had that woman, the woman who broke down the timeline.
8:57.
8:57. If you had Robin slurring.
It wasn't
and
really a
proving-
slur.
Yes, it was, Robin.
I said-
And proving that she was not completely besotted or drunk as a skunk at 2 a.m. stumbling out of a bar. Then you're cashing, ladies and gentlemen. Play Action Reels got the dollar sign up there. Dollar bills. By the way, any truth
I called
to the
myself out.
Any truth to the rumor that the WNBA asked Brittany Griner if that dildo was hers? It's a good question. I'll wait for ESPN to bring their big WNBA package together and see what color dildo will be the next one tossed on a WNBA floor, Robin. People want to know.
Well, green seems to be a really popular. Although I think there should be a little bit of blue, right?
What color dildo would you, if you were to buy a dildo? Well, we don't have to buy dildos.
I don't really need one.
I love this bit. I got to play this real quick on the way out. So Marlins.
Would you like me to pull it up so people can actually see it?
Yes, it's on John Boy Media, who does a good job. He's a guy who's a fan, and he created this empire. So Marlins broadcast was dying to hand out hot dogs to anyone who could name just one player on the Marlins. So they sent this guy into the stands with a microphone.
John, what is it?
John Boy, Jomboy Media. Guy's awesome. He's turned a fandom into this unbelievable empire. So God bless him. But so he plays the video because he gets the feeds of all the MLB games, and then he takes the clip and posts them right away. Brilliant. Just like the commissioner of the NBA said.
Go back to where I can actually see what it is. So
Marlins broadcast was dying to hand out hot dogs to anyone who could name just one player on the Marlins.
Got it.
And
Okay,
it only was posted 37 minutes ago. Let's go to the tape.
Somebody, name a Marlin, get a hot dog. Name a Marlin, free hot dog for a Marlin. Can you name a Marlin, sir? There you go.
Yes, Sammy Alcantara.
There you go. It's Sandy, but Sammy works. All right. Name a Marlin, get a hot dog. Hey, can you name one Marlin? Name one Marlin for one hot dog.
Xavier Edwards.
There you go. You can get a hot dog, sir. Let's move on. Congratulations. Anybody want to name a Marlin for a hot dog? Tell me. Anybody want to name a Marlin for a hot dog? Sir, can you name a Marlin for one hot dog for free? Just name a Marlin.
Xavier Edwards.
There we go. We got two Xavier Edwards. We got one Sammy Alcantara. That'll do. Guys, back to you.
All right, Jeremy.
That's good. Hey, there's some Marlin fans,
Yeah.
The chick with the Phillies who got the ball, she didn't know who anybody was. She just wanted a goddamn baseball to stuff in her dad's face or whatever.
We covered all the stories that we had, Tony. We covered it all tonight.
Yeah. The show was well scripted. Every word was written down prior to the program.
Absolutely.
All of the rants.
Right up until the time that I misspoke.
Yeah, but that was 2 hours and 57 minutes, Robin. I think 1 hour and 57 minutes, which may be a new personal best for you, Robin.
It might be.
I mean, normally it's a first hour lock.
And Caitlin says, warning, dildos can spread giardia. Depends on where you put it.
Well, exactly.
Caitlin.
Where do you think people put dildos, Robin?
Oh, yeah. Tony, we are going to be doing another double. No, we're not doing a double.
No, Monday we're back on 1210 WPHT.
We're back on 1210 WPHT.
Noon to 3. And then I'll be doing some Eagles post-game shows or pre-game tailgates. You got the big Thursday afternoon. Remember, the game of the week The Fox 425 game, that's the one the whole country gets. That's the Tom Brady and broadcast on Fox. And so, no, Robin hasn't been doing doubles all night.
No, he was talking about double shots or something.
Oh.
No, I actually have only had about a glass and a half of wine.
Let me see the bottle, Robin. Let me see here. Where's I can't see the label. How many did you have, Robin?
About a glass and a half, maybe 2.
That's bullshit, Robin.
No, it's
That
not.
is absolutely bullshit.
Not a bottle and a half, a glass and a half.
Well, yeah, that's the standalone Fox 420 because there's games at 1 o'clock, obviously, and then there's the 4:05 starts, and those are regional broadcasts. But the 4:25 start is the standalone game, the main game of the week that will be broadcast everywhere.
Correct.
That's how it works. I know my broadcasting, Robin.
Play Action Reel says, you need to catch up with us, Miss Robin. I don't know if I can catch up with you guys. Not tonight.
And let me just say to all the people who are questioning my knowledge of time slots and all this other stuff and what time games are on and who's the broadcasters.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And that's what I say to Robin and everybody else. We can still be friends. I'm not going to come after you and threaten to kill you. You can disagree with me. Just don't be an asshole. Nobody likes assholes. Well, some people do.
If that's their preference.
Whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, I want to thank Bisa in Las Vegas.
Who always does a fabulous job.
By the way, it's halftime if you follow college football. University of Houston leading the Colorado, whatever they are. The Colorado, they got a good quarterback, though, white dude. Except they're trailing to the University of Houston. Hello, 13-7. Yes, we are, and I thank everybody. We all needed to unwind a little bit. I went on a couple of rants, but most of them were about the NBA and the stupid stuff that fans have to put up with, the bullshit about just being hit for every charge, for every stinking app.
Yeah.
And, you know, not everybody has a ton of money. $920 to watch sports, and that's just one league.
It's bad.
It's just ridiculous. So screw you, Nosferatu Adam Silver. Screw you all the way up the bunghole. Whatever you want to insert in there, just insert it and keep pushing. And pushing it hard. Push it back, way back. We want to thank everybody for participating tonight. People who listened on our chat on. How many people do we have watching on X tonight, Robin?
About over 1,800.
Well, thank all the people on X who are listening. We're on every Friday night, 7 to 9 Eastern Time, because we're here just to give you opinions and have some fun. Most of the time, it's not opinions; it's fun. But I'll make sports opinions because that's what I'm at. But I also know my politics, and so don't give me anything to stick to sports. You know who should stick to sports? Nate Burleson at CBS. He has no business commenting on anything but Nickelodeon slime games, all right? Smart guy, very well spoken, but giving him a morning drive spot on the CBS morning show is the equivalent of me being asked to perform brain surgery.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. God bless America. Don't drink and drive, and don't text and drive.